Natalie from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Monday, March 10th. Okay, so we have the moon in Leo energy here all day, which is definitely going to give us a totally different vibe compared to what we've been sitting in with the moon in Cancer energy in her rulership. Of course, we shifted into this Leo energy last evening, but we didn't have any aspects pop off. We just kind of sat in it. We had to get to the heart, the truth of the matter. There's a lot of heart activations going on, not only with Venus retrograde, but now this Leo energy is going to get us in alignment with what actually matters to us, what actually brings excitement, happiness, joy to our lives. And of course, it's going to turn the volume all the way up on where we need to be bold, brave, and courageous enough to do the hard things, to actually close the door on the past, detach ourselves from the people, places, and things that are no longer serving us, and actually put ourselves in a position to be the creator of our own reality. So here's the thing. This is our second moon day in a row. Now, if you listen to this week's Ascension forecast, you would know that it was super weird that last week we had 3 moon days, which again are days for emotional refinement and realignment. And here this week, we also have 3 moon days helping us to get in alignment with these new emotions, with these new ideas, with this new energy. And of course, building towards the main event that we have popping off here this week, which is the full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo energy. Now, I am going to recommend that you continue to kind of go back, re-listen to that Ascension forecast for this week, because here's the thing. We're going to have a lot of major pop-offs, really put us in a different position, different circumstance, different mindset, different heart space here this week, all in anticipation for this detox, this purge, this elimination, this releasing energy coming at us with this eclipse. So here today with the moon in Leo energy, first of all, we are going to get heart aligned. Secondary to that, taking a look at the day, there are 10 different aspects, all 10 involve the moon, and the majority of the aspects are positive ones. So this is definitely going to lighten the mood a little bit, lighten the vibe, really put us in a more playful type of energy, which of course that Leo energy needs us to be in, because that's how you create. You don't create out of scarcity. You don't create out of fear. You create when the vibrations are high, when you're happy, when there is excitement, when there's passion, when there's desire. So today we are definitely going to feel the shift in our mood, in our attitude, in our heart space, in our head space. We definitely want to lock in to those higher vibrations and frequencies, because they are definitely going to help us set the tone on what we're able to manifest. So with all of that being said, granted, we don't start the day off with the greatest of aspects. The moon in Leo is going to be sitting across from, directly opposing, Pluto. So Pluto is the great transformer. He is in Aquarius energy. There is a major boss up that we are all going through, specifically understanding where it is that we want to end up and kind of reverse engineering on the way to this present moment, what we need to do to actually get there. Now, Pluto is definitely going to ruffle some feathers. That's what he's here to do when he's being opposed. And emotionally speaking, again, the moon in Leo, we are kind of flip-flopping with a lot of emotions, a lot of the ideas, a lot of the options that we currently have available to us. And Pluto, when he is being aspected in not the greatest way, he's going to bring up the fears, the doubts, the insecurities, but that's okay. We're getting this out of the way at the beginning of the day in order for us to realize where it is that we have to build ourselves up in our boldness, in our bravery, in our courage, in our confidence. So yes, it doesn't feel good. However, we are going to realize where it is that there is some resistance to change, there is some hesitation, there is a restriction and a limitation that we are imposing on ourselves. And from that realization, we're able to flip the script. The moon in Leo is then going to make a very awkward interaction with the sun in Pisces. So, of course, awkwardness isn't necessarily good or bad. It just kind of feels uncomfortable. Anytime that the sun and the moon are coming together, there's going to be an aha moment. There's going to be a new level of awareness of what we want, what we need, what we desire, and what we need to do to get it. So the moon in Leo energy, again, we're getting heart aligned, heart activated with what we want, what we need, what we desire. The sun shining a very bright light in this Pisces energy not only is helping us to kind of gain a visual on what the end goal needs to look like in order for us to feel in alignment with our higher self, but also in Pisces energy, what needs to end, what needs to die, what we have to close the door upon in order to actually pour all of our time, energy, and attention into building this new life, this new reality, this new goal, this new vision, this new dream. The moon in Leo then goes ahead, makes a beautiful interaction with Uranus, the great awakener in Taurus energy. So this is going to bring a lot of clarity. This is an aha moment. This is a light bulb moment. This is a shift in our mood, in our attitude, in our perspective. Uranus definitely brings in a new energy. This is why we feel it in our central nervous system. Again, Ascension symptoms, listen to the Ascension forecast or jump over to my Patreon for a day-by-day play-by-play on how to navigate some of these Ascension symptoms. This is a lot of energy coursing through our bodies, trying to break up the blockages of fear, doubt, pain, trauma that, again, junking up the meridians, the information highway of our physical form. And so, yes, there's going to be a surge of energy. It could manifest as excitement, could manifest as anxiety. Either way, this is showing us what we're excited about, what we could possibly and potentially see now a little bit clearer than we were able to see previous to, today. And we are putting ourselves in a situation, specifically with that Taurus energy that Uranus has been in, where we're kind of holding on to the dead weight. We're starting to put into perspective where we need to be bold, brave, and courageous enough to just detach, to cut the cord, right? To just let that dead weight go so that, again, we can lighten the load in our heart space and in our roles and responsibilities in our physical realm. And we can actively start pursuing the path that we need to be on in order to end up where it is now that we desire to be. The moon is then going to make a little bit of an awkward interaction with Saturn, the Lord of Karma, who, of course, is in Pisces energy. Now, there's a little bit of a reality check that comes at us, not a harsh one, just a, okay, so if I want this goal, vision, and dream to actually manifest, then this means that I have to logically and practically close the door on this, that, and the other thing. Now, Saturn, he is in Pisces energy, dissolving the old world, dissolving the old version of self, dissolving the false belief system that old version of self was sitting in order to create the realm and reality that, again, we're no longer in resonance with. We have an organization coming to our emotions, coming to our headspace on the, let's call it method, the system that we need to follow in order to, again, wrap up, close up those chapters of the past so that we can wholeheartedly pour every ounce of time, energy, and effort into building this new realm, this new reality. So yeah, the weight of the world does kind of give us a little bit of a reality check. We have to understand that in order to be the creator of our realms and reality, with great power comes great responsibility. And that is okay as long as we are accountable and responsible for ourselves, for the energy, the actions in which we are taking to close the doors to the past and open the doors up to this new potential future. The moon in Leo, then going to trine, which is a beautiful interaction, with Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, ruler of information, communication, how it is that we express ourselves. Now, Mercury is in Aries energy. We get this trine because we're dealing with fire energy. Leo energy is a fixed fire sign. Aries energy is a cardinal fire sign. Now, Mercury, of course, is our headspace. The moon is our heart space. And they're working together in this fire energy to not only burn through the cords of attachment to the past, but to initiate a new spark, fire, and flame within us in order to get on the same page, heart and head aligned, to understand what we're passionate about, what we're excited about, what we desire, and what we need to do to actually bring it to life. Now, where communication is concerned, because of course we have to talk about communication when Mercury is involved, this is going to be fiery. This is going to be spicy. This is going to be passionate. But again, the line between passion and anger is very thin. We have to watch that, again, we're not acting on impulse. We're not verbal vomiting our thoughts, our ideas out into the world. There is a tendency to do that with Mercury in that Aries energy. And considering the fact that we are just days away of Mercury going retrograde, we have to be very careful that we are not creating more of a mess for ourselves than there actually needs to be. And so this trine, this fire energy, is a beautiful thing because, again, it is helping to burn away the junk and the gunk, burn away these old attachments, and then renew us in our soul, in our spirit, in our passion, in our desire, in our excitement for what is to come. Now, the moon in Leo is then going to go ahead and trine Venus, who is retrograde in Aries energy. So again, we get fire on fire action. A little bit of a different dynamic, though. This is going to be a major heart activation. Again, please listen to the Ascension forecast or jump over to my Patreon for heart activation remedies and assistance here. But Venus is in her retrograde. She is in the underworld. She is spending her 40 days and 40 nights in the depths of her darkness in order to beat herself up, break herself down so that she can renew her self-worth, her self-confidence, her self-esteem, reassess, reanalyze who it is that she is, who it is that she needs to become, and the people, places, and things that she is going to continue to pour herself into because she wants those particular aspects part of her future. There is going to be a major to-do list of things that she's no longer in alignment with that she will be eliminating, releasing, removing out of her life by the time she goes direct. And again, that is April 12th. So we have a huge time frame of getting heart activated, heart aligned. And again, these energies are popping off right now so that the darkness, the fears, the insecurities, the old is definitely going to be in our face, rising to the surface of our awareness so that we can do the work to purge, to release, to eliminate under this lunar eclipse in Virgo energy coming at us here at the end of the week. So the moon being our heart space, Venus ruling over our heart space, this is a pivot point. We are, again, tapping into this fire energy to realize where it is that we have to burn through the old cords of attachment, the old junk, the old gunk, the heaviness, the weight, the fears, the doubts, the insecurities, in order to, again, reignite our fire, our spark, our flame within us, what we're passionate about, what we desire, what brings us excitement, what brings us safety, security, and stability, which of course, in comparison to where it is at, we're at right now, there's not very many of us that feel very safe, secure, and stable in our physical realms. So this is going to be a beautiful energy to kind of get in touch with that heart space, get in touch with what it is that we want, need, and desire, and get in touch with what is actually blocking us. And that goes on the to-do list of things to remove, things to close the door upon. The moon is then going to make a very uncomfortable interaction with the North Node in Pisces energy. Now that North Node in Pisces is trying to get us on the right path, trying to get us in alignment with our mission, with our purpose for this next karmic chapter. But of course, in order to do that, we have to surrender. That's what the Pisces energy is all about. Not only do we have to surrender and kind of learn to go with the flow, but we have to trust. We have to trust ourselves. We have to trust the greater, grander plan. We have to trust that the universe knows the path that we need to be on. And again, we're in eclipse energies already. We are at the mercy of the cosmos. There are going to be fated, wild card, unexpected events thrown at us because the eclipse energy and eclipse season is going to put us on the path that we failed to put ourselves upon, put us in touch with the people that we failed to connect to in order to advance our goals, our visions, our dreams. So of course, the uncomfortable aspect that is taking place right now is questioning how it is that we're going to get from point A to point B. Again, when we have a realization, such as the one that we just had with the moon interacting with first Mercury and then Venus, suddenly we realize it puts into focus where it is that we're at, where it is that we desire to be, and the gap that is preventing us from actually getting there. And that gap is filled with a lot of hard choices, a lot of hard actions that we don't really want to make, but we know it's the right thing to do. We know that it needs to be done. And so at this particular juncture, it's almost as if we get a little bit overwhelmed with all that we need to do to get from point A to point B. And so we're kind of stuck in a state of paralysis. We're getting overwhelmed. Our heart space is a little bit overwhelmed with the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, with the ifs, ands, and buts. And so this is a particular point in the day where we are just pausing. We're just pausing. We're trying to anchor into this present moment. We're trying to realize what we're moving away from. We're trying to realize what we want to move closer to. And we're trying to realize what we need to do to actually do all of those things. So we sit in that for about an hour, hour and a half-ish. We then have the moon in Leo sextiling, which is a beautiful interaction, with Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, beliefs, abundance, and blessings, who of course is in Gemini energy. Thus why we're sitting on the fence about things. Thus why we're feeling torn in two different directions. Thus why we're teeter-tottering from one idea to the next. One bold, brave, courageous move for their future selves, and then backtracking, trying to convince ourselves that we don't need to do that. We just need to be happier with what it is that we currently got. Here's the thing. We're working with fire and air, which is a beautiful thing. Leo energy is fire. Gemini energy is air. And when you have fire and air, there's going to be a spark. There's going to be a combustion. There's going to be an aha moment. There's going to be a heart activation. And Jupiter, because he's about our growth and expansion, not only is he highlighting where we do have an option and an opportunity to kind of grow through what we're going through, not only do we have a new potentiality kind of off in the horizon for us to be working towards, but Jupiter tends to kind of bring the optimism, bring the confidence, which of course the moon in this Leo energy is going to relish in. The Leo energy, again, is a little bit of the star of the show. And with Jupiter kind of putting the spotlight on our heart space, where it is that we are building in our boldness, our bravery, our confidence, all of those things that strengthen not only who it is that we are, but strengthen the visual that we have for our future. And that, my friends, is the initial stages of how we bring this baby to life. So this is going to be a beautiful option and an opportunity to see the future from a more optimistic lens, if you will. Those rose-colored glasses are a beautiful thing. We're hyping ourselves up. We're plucking out the silver linings, and this is just good vibes. However, we do have the moon in Leo energy, then making a very awkward interaction with Neptune, of course, in his rulership in this Pisces energy. And this is, again, kind of a repetition type of energy where we gain this visual. We are hyped up. We are feeling strong. We are feeling confident. We truly believe that if we can dream it, we can achieve it. And then reality hits us, and we're so overwhelmed with all that needs to be done in order for us to move on and move forward in that path, in that direction, that we kind of find ourselves in a state of emotional paralysis. Now, considering the fact that Neptune and Pisces energy is the escape artist of the zodiac, meaning the minute that life gets hard, we disassociate. We'd rather live in la la land than deal with the actual facts of our truth, of our reality, of what needs to be done here in this present moment to break us free from the past and set us up for this future. We get overstimulated. We get hypersensitive. There's so much going on. We're creating confusion around it. We're creating anxiety around it, that we start kind of losing the initial steam that, again, Jupiter really infused us with. But the beautiful thing here is that the last aspect of the day is the moon in Leo energy, making a beautiful interaction, a supportive interaction with the sun in Pisces. So again, there's going to be an aha moment. There's going to be a breakthrough moment, a light bulb moment of what we want, what we need, what we desire, and what we need to do to get it. Now, compared to the earlier interaction here in the day when the moon and the sun were kind of popping off in an awkward interaction, we at the end of the day feel a lot more confident of us being able to do all of the things that need to be done in order to, again, close the door on the past and open the door up to this possible future. And because the sun is being aspected in a very nice and kind way in this Pisces energy, we're tapping into the hope, the faith, the wishes, the dreams, the healing, the creativity, the imagination, and all of that energy helps us to piece together this visual that our heart space is creating, our head space is creating, our higher self is helping us to create as well, because we have to be very, very detailed in our vision for the future. We have to infuse it with the appropriate level of passion, desire, excitement. We have to logically, practically plan it out in our mind's eye of how it is that we plan on taking action and making moves when we get that green light go ahead. And then we can engage the physical body to take action and make moves in the external realm. So we are definitely closing the day up on a more positive note. I feel like the vibes here today are definitely building us up in strength, in self-esteem, in confidence. And we're definitely going to need it because we have a very busy, semi-chaotic day coming at us here on Tuesday, March 11th.